This video is to help determine which side your wheel bearing is bad on. What we're doing is driving down a country road, and if you turn the wheel to the right and the noise is lessened, it is your right wheel bearing, and if it is when you turn the wheel to the left and the noise is less, is your left wheel bearing. What we're doing here today is replacing the wheel bearing on a 2005 Chevy Trailblazer. First thing you're going to want to do, if you do not have the assistance of air tools, is take the center cover off, break the tightness of the lugs as well as the axle nut, and then jack the car up and place it on jack stands. After that, we will go ahead and remove the tire, and we'll go from there. Next, what we'll do is take and try to move the caliper piston back in by putting a screwdriver here, and so the caliper and bracket slides off the rotor in case there's a little rust ridge on there. And then we have two 18mm bolts that hold the caliper bracket on. We're going to go ahead and remove those and then hang the entire assembly from a wire from the strut tower so we don't put any stress on the brake hose. What we'll do to get the rotor to be freed up, there are two threaded holes in here. You need a 10 by 1.5 millimeter bolt. You can put that in there, tighten it down, and that'll pop the rotor off. Then after that, we'll go ahead and disconnect the ABS line and bring that down, and we're ready to disassemble the hub. The trick to getting this off is take a small screwdriver here, push in on that tab, pull up on it, and then this will come out. So this tab right here, I want to pull up on that and then pull the weather pack connector out. On the ABS wire, there's just several clips that you have to push out, and then we have the rotor loose. Go ahead and remove the rotor. Then on the back side of the steering knuckle, there are 3 bolts that we are going to remove, and then we're going to pull this entire hub assembly out.
And here behind the wheel well, we can see the 2 of the 3 18mm bolts that you're going to need to take off to remove the hub.
Okay, now that we got the 3 bolts out, what I'm going to do is put a hub puller on there. I just have a kind of janky homemade one here, and we're going to take a slide hammer and then pull this entire hub away from the steering knuckle. For safety reasons, you would want to wear some eye protection, and no doubt keep your hand away from the stop here. The steering knuckle is, the wheel hub is separated from the steering knuckle. So we'll go ahead and remove this. If you don't have one of these, most automotive stores will have a loan-a-tool program where you can get one for free. One thing you want to do is take and make sure that your axle shaft here is loose from the hub there, and you want to take and hit it with a soft hammer. Do not use a steel hammer, it'll mushroom out the end here and damage the threads. So what we'll do is just simply take a screwdriver and pry this little shield off the back here, and we'll go ahead and transfer that to the new wheel bearing. So what we're going to do is clean this surface up here with a wire brush, and we're going to put a small amount of grease right on these splines here to ensure that it doesn't rust on there, and if we ever have to replace it, it'll come off a heck of a lot easier. We're going to make sure that we don't get any grease on these threads. Next, what we'll do is put a little bit of thread locker on the ends of these bolts. We're going to stick them in through the back. Go ahead and put our shield on there as well as the bearing, and then we'll go ahead and tighten them up. So we'll go ahead and connect the wiring harness for the ABS. Next, we'll go ahead and put the axle nut on. We'll take and spray the rotor here down with some brake clean. We'll install that, and we'll go ahead and put our caliper bracket on there, and we'll take and put some Loctite on the bolts and secure those. Yeah, we'll edit that one out. Okay, next what we'll do is go ahead, replace the tire. We'll run the lugs down. We'll take and put the vehicle back on the ground. We'll check the lugs for torque as well as the axle nut.